Saturday afternoon, and I am just about to walk into the St. James Theater and do my matinee. Oh, listen, do you hear that? The overture is starting. Very exciting. The overture to Gypsy, the most exciting overture ever. Okay, and here I come up the stairs to my floor now, and that is the 5th floor. Here are all the stripper costumes, Minsky girl costumes on the wall, and here is my dressing room, my 5th floor dressing room. When did your association with this fabulous theater, the St. James Theater, start?
I first came here in November of 1989. It was my first Broadway show. It was Gypsy.
Starring?
Starring Tyne Daly and John Dari. And I played Pasty, the stage manager, the same part I'm playing now.
November of last year, I was lucky enough to be part of The Grinch.
I started with this theater when I was 11 years old in 1990.
No. And what show would you have been in?
That show was called Gypsy.
Wait, isn't that the show that you're in now?
It is. It is. Another revival.
I was an actor in the show, Swing, here.
What was your first time in the St. James Theater? Do you remember it?
First time in the my first memory was probably The Secret Garden.
Oh my God, I was in that!
I was a newsboy. I was one of the little kids.
And your position now is obviously the
A
fabulous
farm boy who is now, yes, who comes out to, you know, do his little act.
Ringer,
What is your position now?
the head carpenter.
Okay, now what about the St. James Theater has changed since you first worked here?
The first thing I can think of is I believe some of the details in the house have changed, some of the painting in it.
There are new seats, new painting in the theater itself, and the gold leaf.
The people have changed.
Definitely things are in different places, like the stage management room is where our hair room used to be.
Were there heads there when you...
Yes, on the hallway. Yeah, there were. I didn't remember that until Barney said it. But I remember it as you came in the stage door and you came down. There were 12. He said there were 12.
They were the heads of Caesar.
Right. He said everybody thought they were the apostles.
Right. What's remained the same?
Well, I guess it would say, first thing I remember is the walkway into the stage door seems very similar to me.
You are still here, and so is your dad.
Very good.
Thank God.
What about your life has changed since you first worked at the St. James 19 years ago?
Oh, a lot, because I was 11 and now I'm 29 years old. So I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up. I got
Your voice
taller.
got low.
My voice got deepened. I got a career. I got out of school. I got into a relationship.
I was single in my 20s. When I first came, I'm married. I have 2 children.
Went to high school, graduated high school, went to college, graduated college.
Yeah.
And now I'm here full time.
That is fantastic.
I used to have hair. I never had a belly. Married. Wife's pregnant.
I am also married and have an apartment and a house and a life, and I'm less crazy.
What has remained the same in your life?
What has remained the same? I believe the same. I have the same dreams and goals of wanting to perform and to present a message on stage.
Excellent. Do you sense the history of this theater at times?
I do. I feel like I'm in a space that many people have inhabited all the time.
You know, I always hear old stories about plays that took place, especially in this theater back in the 40s, 30s.
There have been times, especially in the last scene with Patty, where both of us have sensed like some type of weird, ghostly something or other happening.
I don't believe in, you know, ghosts or things like that. But I do, you know, the building obviously has a history and it's important to me because of our business and what we do here. And yeah, the fact that Olivia worked here and Oklahoma opened here, and you know, there's that thing. King and I
just kind of think, you know, who possibly could have been in the dressing rooms. Like, I think Matthew Broderick was in our stage management room.
Right.
That's kind of really cool.
Have you ever experienced the feeling that past times in this theater coexist with the present time? Do you ever, for example, see the young Tony Aspect in the mirror?
Sometimes I do. I think specifically when I'm on stage and when I'm down in the basement area, because that's where I used to be a lot. And when I'm down there, I can feel how I used to feel then.
I would say yes, because now I'm working with Laura Benanti again.
Excellent.
I was 19 and Tim was 20 when I did Swing here at St. James. We used to go out back in the day.
The only time I felt it was when I first came this time. When I first came this time to work, the first day I came to work, and I came down that alley, so much happened to me here.
Right.
Because it was a 2.5-year run, and so many things happened to me here. And when I walked from the stage here, I got very emotional.
I just have one more question, and it starts with a quote, and that quote is from the book Nadia by Andre Breton. The quote is, "Everything fades, everything vanishes, something must remain of us." When you ultimately leave the St. James for the last time,
Yes.
what part of you will remain?
There's a photograph of Matt Gibson and I that Alicia Sable took, and she gave it to me, and I tried to put it right there behind by that mirror, and it fell behind the mirror, and there's no way to get it out because the mirror doesn't move. So this is a photo of the man behind the camera and me behind that mirror that's going to be here until they rip out that mirror.
Probably my family name. I'm sort of
Your family name. That is such a good answer. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because it really is a legacy, the McDonough's at the St. James.
I think my love of this theater, this is my favorite theater to work in on Broadway. And honestly, and I'm not just saying this because it's right here, but because of Timmy and Timmy, and now Ryan too.
What I think I give to this theater is maybe it's because what I do on stage is about dreams. I think it comes from a hope of accomplishing a dream that maybe other people might not think could happen, but you always want to happen.
my blood, sweat, and tears.
Excellent answer. Very good.
This experience has kind of taught me all about what Broadway is, and I'm kind of leaving the element of beginner behind.
Hi, who we got here?
Hi, my name is Tim McDonough. I'm the prop man of the St. James. I started here in about 1978, and I've been here ever since. A lot of good things came by as I've been here and everything else. And this theater is very known for the original Oklahoma, the original Hello Dolly, as I have this piece of paper that goes back of all the shows that have been in this theater since 1925.
I'm going to pan down and take a look at this. Oh my God, look at all these shows.
But the one that really strikes me here is Little Abner. Little Abner was done in 1856, the original Little Abner. And in 1956, we had a fella here, was the first Broadway Show League winner, and he also was the carpenter of Little Abner. And he happens to be my dad.
What's your dad's name?
And my dad's name is Tom McDonough.
Fantastic.
We lost him in 1995.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But we never forget him.
Of
But
course.
these are the things that really stick in my mind.
Uh-huh.
And this is what really sticks in my mind at the St. James and everything else.
And isn't there something unusual about the crew here right now? Don't you?
Well, something unusual about the crew that we never really see around here. I have one of my sons that became the head carpenter about a month ago, which is very unheard of. He's 30 years old, very proud of him. Loves the theater, and he's the 4th generation. Because my dad's dad was here. I'm the 3rd generation.
Your dad's dad was here too?
Yes. He was the prop man of the Lyceum Theater.
Oh my God.
My dad was the prop man of the Martin Beck Theater. And now I'm the prop man of the St. James. And my son is the carpenter of the St. James.
And your son's name is also Tim?
Yes, and we also have another son that works here on the computer boards, is Ryan.
Ryan.
So it's a family affair, and I get to see him more now than I ever seen him when they were growing up.
And can I ask you just that last question about what of you do you think will remain in this theater?
I worked in this theater almost 30 years, and the solidarity and everything else we have in this theater. Everybody gets along. the cast, the crew, management. And it's something I hope I instilled in everybody to keep this whole momentum of this theater going. Because this theater, the St. James, is very unique. And it's something I'll never forget. It gave me a good living, my family a good living, and everything else. And thank God for Rocco.
Here's Tim and his dad and Timmy and Ryan. That's amazing.
In Grinch, we all did this, and I think we'll all do this again. We signed the bottom of our desks.
You gave me such a good idea. I have to sign under here, and hopefully it will last at least for a few years. That's awesome.
I always fantasized that there was a place where people would sign their names or their...
There are places.
There are places.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Tessie, Tura, Gypsy. I feel like I've left something of me behind now physically.
To me, it will always be the St. James Theater, my first home. Parts of us all are going to still be here,